So 1 month ago, I decided to make a horror game. To scare my friends, of course. Now there was one slight issue though. Since I wanted my friends to be able to play together at the same time, I needed to make the game multiplayer as well. And while I've been a game developer for around 3 years now since I was 14, I've never tried coding multiplayer before, and from what I've heard online, it's also really hard, so yeah, that's great. Anyways, this was gonna be my first ever time making a multiplayer game, so I really just had to see how it goes. And I mean, since the game is gonna be pretty simple anyways, it shouldn't be too hard, right? First off, before I even started development, I had to think about what kind of horror game I wanted it to be. Horror games in and of themselves are a very broad and honestly somewhat saturated genre, so I had to think about, do I want my game to sort of rely on building a tense atmosphere for the scare factor? Or do I want it to be a story-driven game? Or an enemy chases you through a level and you have to find the key to get to the exit door and escape? It's just a mimic on Roblox. And yeah, that's what I ended up going for. So now I had to design the player and the environment. I went with a sort of old RPG Maker horror game-esque aesthetic since I was inspired by those types of games. You can probably see the RPG Maker influence in the player especially. Then I imported all of that into the engine, I cooked up a basic lighting effect, and yeah, this was my first prototype of the game, just a player walking around. But now came the fun part, which was getting this game synced across 2 different clients using multiplayer. Luckily, I found a great and simple tutorial made by Icy Engine, which basically summarizes Godot's high level, which basically means simpler multiplayer API. And to preface this, Godot is the name of the game engine I'm using. And with honestly less coding than I expected, I actually got local multiplayer on my system to work. I got a simple menu setup where you can host a server, join a server, and start the game with synced player movement and all that. And I was fairly surprised on how easy Godot actually made it to sort of make multiplayer in your games, since a lot of the tools they had in their engine sort of automated the process already for you, so it was sort of like plug and play using the already built-in features, honestly. And then while I was trying to make switching between rooms in my game, yeah, I'll just show you what happened in this clip. Whoa. Wait, whoa, what the hell? Okay, I don't know why that's happening. I think it's because I'm deleting the player in one of the clients and it's not synced to the other one, I think. Yeah, I had to rework my entire project from the ground up, because even after that problem, there was a whole nother slew of problems which affected the project, and I realized very quickly that it just wasn't optimized as a whole. And also the fact that I had absolutely no idea on how to actually get online multiplayer working in the project, which was kind of the most important part, since I wanted my friends to be able to actually play the project from their own devices. So yeah, I had to do something about that, which means I had to go back on the hunt for another multiplayer tutorial for Godot, and luckily I found one made by Finepoint CGI, which was, to say the least, a savior for me. And through this, I decided on WebRTC as my multiplayer solution for my game. Now, I'll save the long explanation for now, but essentially what WebRTC means is, instead of having a dedicated server that clients connect to, clients can directly establish a connection between each other so that their routers can directly communicate with each other and relay information that way. This is done through the use of a signaling and a stun server, which I won't go into the details of how that works, and there's usually a failsafe mechanism called a turn server, which is there as just a regular server in case both clients can't establish a direct connection between each other. This was a lot more work cut out for me, to say the least, since this actually involved manually sending data packets across the network using WebSockets instead of hyper-simplified built-in Godot API. And after a full day of work, i.e. following the tutorial word for word, I finally got an actual connection. So now that I had that out of the way, I needed to get to work. I added timeout detection and removing dead lobbies. I imported everything from the old project and made room transitions actually work. I also added usernames for the players. I made the list of players in the current lobby you've joined. I made a sprint bar for the player. I designed the maze which the player was going to be navigating through. I made a working enemy which chases you in game. I made sound effects for the game. I used royalty-free music for my game. I made some really scary blood splatter art. which you can only see in a singular room in-game. I made the player be able to interact with certain things, such as the exit door, and speaking about that, I made the key and the exit door. And that's just to name a few of the changes. Here's a few other ones if you want to have a read. And finally, after what was a whole month of work, this is Scary Game 3D. I swear I can come up with better names, okay? Here was the premise. You spawn in the middle of a big, completely empty room. You go up because it's the only choice. To your left is a door, which is presumably your exit, but it needs a key. To your right is a vast maze, where the key may be hiding, but you're not alone in that maze either. And if you're not careful, yeah, that can happen. And here's some funny clips from some of the playthroughs.
You have to finish the game. I mean, no, what? Not game.
I'm very scared for the jump scare.
So I'll go first.
What the hell?
Yo, this is dead end. This is dead end. This is dead end. This is dead end. Someone go first. Someone go first.
Someone
Someone go first. Someone go
Scared.
first. I'm not going first. I'll go first the whole time. I'll go first the whole time.
Connor, I thought you weren't scared.
Oh,
What? Is
Stop
she
making
gone?
noise.
Oi, King.
Monkey, I'm getting stuck. I'm getting stuck. I'm getting stuck.
Oh my god, the scream.
Oh my god, no way.
Yay. 7 minutes. Oh, wait, I want to speed on that. Wait, you think can we put this on speedrun.com?
I tried to put it on speedrun.com, I don't know how to.
Yeah, actually, sir.
So, yeah, it's not a very good game, but it works, and I actually finished it this time, so in the end, that's really all that matters, honestly. Scary Game 3D is out on itch.io, so you can go and download it there if you want. Some issues I found with the game after release was there was a bug where after players respawned after being killed by the enemy, they wouldn't show up for other players, so they were just sort of invisible. So yeah, it took one line of code to fix that. And there was another bug where the enemy wouldn't make noise if you left and restarted a game, so yeah, this is why playtesting is really important. Anyways, go download Destroy on itch.io too. Bye bye!
Oh, come on. Oh, come on!
What? Why did you... Oh, shit. How do I actually escape?
Hey, that's right, bitch. Wait, watch this. Wait, watch this. Wait, this is about to be an awesome move. Watch this.
No!